Imagine a world without books and newspapers, without music, beautiful paintings, art, carvings, and sculpture, without technology. Here are some facts about Renaissance. Number 1. Men were considered immature for marriage before they were 30 years old. This means a man could not marry before that age, and women could get married at the age of 17. Talk about maturity age difference. Number 2. Another weird fact about the Renaissance period, women could not play wind instruments because they made their face look weird, but they could only play string instruments. Number 3. Women were not allowed to look at themselves in front of windows because it aroused desires in men, which meant it would drive them away from God. Funny, right? When did this period start? It is thought to have started around 1350 and lasted until 14th century, starting in Florence, Italy, and then expanding throughout the country. When did it happen? The period is marked as being between the Middle Ages and the modern era. Some people saying it was between 14th and 17th centuries. The Renaissance promoted the discovery of classical philosophy, literature, and art. Some of the greatest thinkers, authors, statesmen, scientists, and artists in human history thrived during this era, while global exploration opened up new lands and cultures to European commerce. The Renaissance is created with bridging the gap between the Middle Ages and the modern civilization. The country was made up of independent city-states. The city of Florence was ruled by a family of bankers, the Medici. The Medici family was a wealthy family of bankers who used their resources to sponsor artists to further their humanist movement. The family settled in Florence in the 14th century. This period marked the advancement in the scientific revolution and artistic transformation. One fun fact, during this period, Florence and Rome were rivals, even though they were the center of it all. Rome would eventually be elevated by the Pope, therefore beating Florence. The Medici family can be seen in most paintings from the era. They were the people at the back, wearing red, holding money. The King James Bible. The King James Bible was printed during the Renaissance period together with other texts that were being printed during that time. With the church being very popular and the richest entity, the Bible became the most popular. The team of scholars and translators who released the Bible had been working on it for 7 years, and it was finished in 1611.
Arts of the Renaissance period covers artworks produced during the 14th, 15th, 16th centuries in Europe. It pertains to arts particularly in Italy, such as sculptures, paintings, music, architecture, and literature. The most common subject of this period is human philosophy.
Michelangelo T. Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni, 1475 to 1564. Michelangelo was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet. He was considered the greatest living artist in his lifetime, and since then he was considered as one of the greatest artists of all time. Pieta is one of his outstanding works as a sculptor. Leonardo de Piero da Vinci, 1452 to 1590. Leonardo da Vinci was a painter, architect, scientist, and mathematician. He was known as the ultimate Renaissance man because of his intellect, interest, talent, and his expression of humanism and classical values. One of his famous art is Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa stems from a description by Renaissance art historian Giorgio Vasari, who wrote Leonardo undertook to paint for Francesco the portrait of Mona Lisa, his wife. Raffaello Sanzio da Urbino, or Raphael, 1483 to 1520. Raphael was an Italian painter and architect of the High Renaissance period. One of his famous art is the Transfiguration. The Transfiguration was Raphael's last painting which he worked on up to his death. Donato di Niccolò di Beto Barti or Donatello, 1386 to 1466. Donatello was one of the Italian great artists of the period. He was an early Renaissance Italian sculptor from Florence. He is known for his work in bas-relief, a form of shallow relief sculpture. One of his famous artwork was David. At the time it was created, it was the first known freestanding nude statue produced since ancient times.
Sandro Botticelli, original name Alessandro de Mariano Filippetti, born 1445 Florence, Italy, died May 17, 1510 Florence, one of the greatest painters of the Florentine Renaissance. His The Birth of Venus and Primavera are often said to epitomize for the modern viewers the spirit of the Renaissance. Primavera is a painting of Sandro Botticelli whose original name was Alessandro de Mariano Filippetti. The painting is also known as Allegory of Spring. It is believed that Botticelli is created this piece of art around 1482, and it is said to be one of the prime examples of Renaissance art. Primavera by Sandro Botticelli. Giotto, in full name, Giotto di Bondone, born 1266, 67 or 1276, Vespegnani, near Florence, Italy, died January 8, 1337, Florence, the most important Italian painter of the 40th century, whose work point to the innovation of the Renaissance style that developed a century later. Painted in the year 1306 by Giotto di Bondone, this painting depicts the moment of betrayal of Jesus by Judas Iscariot, who identifies Jesus to the Roman soldiers by kissing him. The Scrovegni Chapel is home to the fresco cycle by Giotto di Bondone, and the Kiss of Judas is the most famous painting in the cycle. Many critics believe that Giotto is a genius and no artist has been able to surpass his work. His mastery is evident in the way he captured the expression of Jesus and Judas at the scene of betrayal. The Kiss of Judas by Giotto di Bondone. Tiziano, Italian in full name Tiziano Visilio or Tiziano Viselli, born 1488 or 90, Pieve de Cadore, Republic of Venice, Italy, died August 27, 1576, Venice. The greatest Italian Renaissance painter of the Venetian school, he was recognized early in his own lifetime as a supremely talented painter, and his reputation has in the intervening centuries never suffered a decline. This painting was done by Tiziano in his early years, and he has used vivid colors in this painting. Assumption of the Virgin is a painting about the rise of Mother Mary into heaven. Assumption of the Virgin by Tiziano Visilio.
Nicholas Copernicus realized that the Earth is not the center of the universe. The Earth actually rotates around the Sun each year. Johannes Kepler, built on Copernicus' work, developed the law of planetary motion, showed that the planets rotated around the Sun in egg shape, not circular orbits. Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press.
The Renaissance period is one of the turning point and one of the most important periods in the world's history. Think art, think architecture, think poetry, music, fashion, and technology. The reason that the Renaissance period started in Italy was that the country was extremely wealthy, and therefore the rich were willing to spend their money on things like art and music.